Hello audience. This is a bike test, it's a range test. I've got my assistant holding the bike, trying to annoy him. Got the Trek with a TQ HPR 60, 580 watt hour battery. I'm in Rincine and I'm gonna now ride up to 1,300 from 500, test this bike to see the range. At the same time, I've got this with me, which is a Kospet P100, and I'm gonna be testing this as well, which is a sports watch. Now, I don't really like using watches and stuff, but I'm trying this for sort of one of the first few times, see how it goes as well. So we're going to have an accurate measurement as well. Right, let's go. Start, we're at 0.04 kilometers. That means 40 meters. And I got maximum power level set. Mostly the climbing is going to be on gravel-ish roads, which is okay. There's some trails in the middle. You know, in full power mode, when I'm pedaling, I tend to put out here about 200 to 300 watts, and the bike is putting out at 350 constant. So it should be interesting to see. These tires that we've got on here are very fast rolling. They're called the Bravado. There's absolutely no stress with that being a chunky tire to push around. So this bike is efficient. So we should have a fairly accurate representation of what it's like to ride. If I make it all the way to, I'm a little tired compared to yesterday, but that's okay, because I rode yesterday as well. I did 800 meters yesterday. If I make it all the way up there, then there's a nice descent all the way down, 50-minute trail. This place is amazing, guys. Nothing beats it. Some of the best long natural trails. Leave a link in the description to where you can find this location. So we're pedaling along. It's at about 220 watts. There we go. 27 degrees here at base. So when we get out there, it'll be about 22. The conditions are absolutely perfect. There's nothing to complain about. This will be about as fair a test as it can be. People say, I mean, this motor, I am cruising here and I am not putting, it feels like I'm putting no effort in. I'm doing 200 watts, but still. I don't necessarily really agree with range testing because I find it a bit, I mean, it's too many variables. But with this, I don't mind doing it because it does actually give me a fair indication of, you know, there's a lot of torque, it gets rid of the torque. I'm 92 kilos, all my stuff. I'm not wearing lightweight gear today. The motor's giving me 350. It sits dead constant motor output. So in the meantime, I want to talk about this watch. So Kospet connected to me and they sent me the watch. They didn't pay for the review to try. It's called the P100 and this is an unboxing of it now. You can see it comes with different parts and you can change the straps easily. I haven't had a watch for many years since I had a heart rate monitor when I used to do rowing training, more than 25 years. So this is my first watch. Now it does all the standard measurements, blood oxygen, blood pressure. It does, well, it calls it stress actually. And it also does heart rate obviously. And it's got a GPS built in, connects to your phone via an app called the Apex Move app, which is a fairly simple app. It's not a high-end watch. This watch comes in at around 120 euro, which is very good value compared to the competition. So my main aim with this is to understand, is it useful? Do I like it? And would I get one? So we've just used 10% of the battery. I'm going quite fast actually. We've done 2.5 kilometers, 161 meters of climbing. Okay, so let's keep going. And the battery was fully charged. We've just used the second 10%, so that's 20% of the battery. We've done 3.9 kilometers. We've done 283 meters. So the last one was 161. And we've now done 283. The trail has got a little steeper. Currently it's 738 meters. Interesting, okay. So that's update number 2, 20%. Right, I just thought I'd do a quick stop check. I've done 5.5 kilometers. We're at an altitude of about 1,000 now. I've done a cumulative gain of 450 meters. That's pretty accurate, I know that one. So the watch seems to be working well. Battery level, we're at 35% gone. So we've got another 5% left of the 40 and I'll let you know what that gets us to. It should get us to 500 meters. So 40% gone, done 600 meters. We're talking 150 an average. Okay, depends probably on the slope angle as well and the efficiency that I can put in, but I'm trying to be constant. We're looking at altitude, yeah, 600 meters, 7.2 kilometers, so it's quite steep. Cumulative loss, we've only lost 4 meters in descent. So 40%, 600 meters, that's pretty good. It means that this whole thing is probably going to do about, and this is in turbo mode, guys. Not really tired. I mean, I'm tired today as well and I'm fine riding. I'm putting out, you know, a fair old wattage. How many calories have I used? 400 calories so far. It looks like the range of this thing is pretty good. I'm quite impressed. So all those worrying about range on the TQ motor with the 580 battery, I don't think you have to. Right, we're at the top of the doing today. I'm pretty tired actually. Underestimated how tired I was from yesterday when I rode. Anyway, let's give you some stats. So the battery has just gone down to 50%. We can see that here. So we're at 50%. My altitude right now is 1,210, which is about right. Maybe it's a little bit higher in reality. So the watch function, barometric pressure for the height or whatever is not too bad. 8.7 kilometers. So, and I've done an altitude gain of about 800 meters. 50%, 790, let's call it, meters. Yeah, we're doing around 150 meters per 10% of battery, which is pretty good for my body weight. Remember, I'm not, I'm 92 kilos, especially with all the gear on. Bike's 20.5. The weather conditions are pretty good actually. Overall, I'd say that's a very acceptable range. So it basically tells me that we've got about, as I guessed originally, and it's pretty consistent, we have about a total range of 1,600 meters of climbing. So we're gonna have to go descending now. Something else I've noticed about this motor is the power output is very consistent. It's constantly putting out about 350 watt, and I've noticed that it's doing that without any change in the feeling. It's just putting it out. Max power very consistently, more consistently than any other motor I've ever tried, which is very interesting. Very, very good. This is a better range than even the original Turbo Levo, which had a very similar output power. I mean, even there, just a little bit up and down, the motor's consistent and kicks in. I love mountains, they're so cool. These are my favorite mountains. One thing you notice about the TQ motor when you're descending is how quiet it is. You don't hear any rattle, any whine, nothing. It's got a really impressive feel to it as well. It is basically a direct conversion to bicycle. This bike is so light and such a good bike. Mullet setup, the maneuverability would increase. I mean, it carries speed though so well. I don't know other bikes that rolls quite as smoothly as this. So the fact that this motor is an actual lightweight motor, and you can feel that in the maneuverability and the manageability on the descents. Wow, look at this trail. This is what this bike is made for. Ooh. And we're done. 679 calories, 1.5 hours, 15.6 kilometers. Altitude highest was 12. Jacopo.
Ciao Ali.
All right then, so that was a few days ago. I managed to get down the trail pretty comfortably. Range of that bike with that motor turns out to be, and I've done a few more rides since then, talking about 150 meters for every 10% of the battery, 580 at 92 kilos. That bike has a total altitude gain possible in full turbo mode, everything maxed out, of around 1,500 meters, which is pretty impressive, I have to say. That's more than I would expect from any other motor, and it actually makes sense because if the motor's putting out 300 watts, the battery's got a capacity of 580, we're about right. So for every 300 watts that motor puts out, you need 300 watts of batteries, and that gives you an altitude gain of about 750 meters in good conditions, which I think is pretty impressive. The conclusion I come to is the TQ motor is very, very good. The HPR60, I'm very impressed. It's very quiet and it's got a range which is more than acceptable for most people. Also, I just want to quickly make a comment on the watch, the Kospet P100. Not a bad watch, actually. I have to say, I'm not into watches really and training with them, and yeah, they're useful. It's useful to have metrics if you need them. It's only 120 euros, so honestly, for that kind of price, I don't think you've really got much to complain about. I think the most important thing about all these metrics, altitude, motor power, and all things, is it's a very broad indication of the system, and I think the best thing is that it does put to rest this idea that lightweight motors and smaller batteries, you know, you don't have range. That's absolutely not true. You don't need to worry about range with the new TQ HPR60 motor and that 580 watt-hour battery. You can also, don't forget, get an extender. So you're going to be 2,000 meters easily with the extender and the battery at about 90 kilos of weight. If you use eco or you use the middle power mode, that range is going to obviously lift up quite significantly. I've got some more tech stuff coming, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget, as always, the channel is supported by Liat, and yeah, go check out their site. See you on the next video.